How does polling work? That's what I think we'll talk about in today's history video. You know, we're surrounded with polling data, and I thought you'd be interested in knowing how a poll is done and how it works and why it works. It's the weirdest thing, but if you take the telephone book for your community, and let's say hypothetically there are 400 pages in it, and you call the first name on every single one of those pages, and you speak to that person, or if you don't get that person home, you call the second or the third or the fourth until you get one person home, and then you move to the next page and the next page. Those 400 people who you will have interviewed will give you the exact same answer as if you interviewed every single person in the entire telephone book, within a margin of error. And the margin of error in this case would be probably plus or minus 3%. So if instead of interviewing 400 people, you interviewed 40,000 people, you would get the exact same results. It's a statistical law that defies intuition, but it's absolutely true. But the key is that everybody has to have an equal opportunity to participate. So for example, if we do an internet poll and I ask you for your opinion, well, that's not valid statistically valid because you chose to come to my website. And you have to poll people involuntarily. You have to call them and say, you've been selected as a sample point, now let me ask you the questions. So internet polling is really a lot less accurate. Now what they do is that they try to weight the numbers so they're getting exactly the right number of Democrats and Republicans and independents, but it really is not that reliable. And increasingly, polling by telephone, which is the way it's done now, is having problems because a whole lot of people have unlisted telephone numbers. Well, the way we get through that is that we randomize the last digit. If your number is 661-1234, we'll call 661-1230, 1231-2, 3, 4, 5 till we ultimately get somebody. The other problem is that a lot of people don't have landlines anymore. They all use cell phones. And cell phones are fine, but you keep your area code in your cell phone even if you move. So we can't allocate the interview to that particular geographic subpoint. But still, the amazing thing about polling is its accuracy. I have been astonished as this presidential process has unfolded in the Republican primaries that Rasmussen always gets it right. He's really the best one. And he always gets it right, even when it's a caucus, and you don't know who's really going to show up in the caucus or not. He gets it right, and that is why that is absolutely incredible, and it's a great record. Watch it; he'll get one wrong. So that's how polling works. Now it's done by telephone. It's typically done from interviewing houses that sit there in little cubicles, and they make the call each day or each night. Typically, it's done at night. And typically they don't dial the numbers themselves. There's a robot that dials them, senses whether you're home or not, and when you answer, it automatically goes to the earphone of the operator who then reads the questionnaire to you. Then at the end of every poll, they ask you your demographics, or your age, your race, your marital status, stuff like that. And that's all designed to be able to break the thing out into subgroups. You've heard me the other day, for example, saying that Obama's favorability among young people is down to 41%. Well, that's from a poll where Rasmussen broke out the people who were under 30 years old and took their responses separately. Sometimes you don't get enough of them. For example, Latinos are only about 8% of the vote. So if I did 500 interviews, I would only have 40 Latinos, and that doesn't give me a statistically valid sample of anything. So what I'll do is I'll do what's called an oversample of like 200 extra Latinos so that I'm sure that I have statistically valid data. And when you do a poll, the first question you ask is, are you registered to vote? Are you over 18? That's called the screen. And if you flunk the screen, they don't proceed with the interview. And one of the huge differences is between likely voters and the general electorate, since about half the people don't vote. Whenever you see a poll that's of adults, that's not a good poll. But if it's of likely voters, that's a good poll and worth following. So thanks a lot. Thought I'd give you all the trade secrets. Thanks for watching.